Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to the CfM Elite Lifestyle Business Community. And thanks for joining me. If you are a return viewer, hello and welcome back. And if you're a new viewer as well, thanks for joining. So today I just wanted to talk about impromptu topics. One of them to start off with is around motivation, and then the other one is around social media, and this is on Instagram update. And then I'll just include a little bit about Facebook engagement as well. So on the motivational factor, I wanted to talk about really keeping motivated. How do you maintain the consistency in posting on, it can be like on YouTube, for instance, as well as on other social media platforms. So I was traveling yesterday, and after I traveled, like my plan was to record and post one of like my video updates on YouTube, but I didn't get to that. I was like so exhausted, especially after like commuting in central London, and I just when I came back, I just crashed pretty much. And part of it, what I started to think about is traveling can be also like complex. So if you're working, you might be also facing this challenge of not being able to consistently post your updates on social media as well as on YouTube. And then the other challenge as well was, as I was exhausted, often I plan like my content in advance. I couldn't come up like with any creative ideas of what to post. Then I also started thinking about that in terms of showing up, it is something that is a commitment, especially when you sign up to something like YouTube. And in the beginning, I recall stating that I would come on live, which was like Monday and Wednesdays. Okay, so that factor in itself, I set that goal, and I'll hold my hand up and say that I wasn't able to commit to that, okay, because I wasn't being realistic for myself, just in terms of my well-being overall and other commitments that I have. So that could also be perceived as that you are failing, but I'm not looking at it as that. I have still made a commitment that at least during the week, I will post, at least upload 2 to 3. So this approach for me is more of underselling and over delivering. So the less pressure I put on myself, it is the better. So that's tip number one, is that if you are dedicating something, just remember that it's something that is also most likely to be long term. It's about setting realistic goals that you can meet for yourself, as well as for the people that you want to connect with as well. Then number 2, I had to also review my reason why and my motivating factor of what motivated me to start doing the videos in the first place. And my biggest motivating factor was that I had know my purpose and my reason why. So that's been like my drive and my motivating factor. Okay, so in the past, I have mentioned it, it's been connected to good causes, and that's something that I've decided to do now rather than later in life. So that's what awakens me every morning, to say that I still got to do this, and whatever experience that I may be going through, it's small or significant, small in significance in comparison to what other people that I want to connect with and the good causes will be going through. Okay, so my cause is connected to young girls, young women in Malawi. So that to me just came out from because I've been connected to like charitable organizations for a very long time, but I just made a decision that I could actually turn that around and contribute elsewhere rather than the UK, because I feel like I've already contributed. Not to say that I'll stop, I still contribute to for instance, like the Princess Trust. That's something that I signed up to. Okay, so but that it's significant enough to wake me up to do certain things. So I'm just giving you an example, is that your reason why should be something that is significant enough to keep you motivated, to keep going, to deliver the content that you're looking to provide. And then the other thing as well is the reason why. It is also something about who the message, who are you trying to connect with in terms of your message. So often we think about promoting the products and the futures, but then we may miss out the psychological or the emotional impact of the people that we want to connect with. Okay, so an example, like today or yesterday, I received a message from somebody who on social media, who I haven't even connected with, and the first message in terms of connections was about offering me something. But then the key things I was thinking about is, how well does this person know me? It would have been better or greater if that person had connected with me on some level prior to the offer that was being made. But if they couldn't even connect with me, it would have been more helpful for them to actually review my profile and understand me as a person. So these are the types of things that you also want to consider when you're developing your content or when you're engaging with people as well. So motivating factors, what will help you as a summary to keep going, is having your biggest reason why, looking at the psychological and emotional aspects of the people that you want to connect with, so that you're continuously understanding what the emotional motivation is, and then offering the solution to their problems as well. Okay, so that's the motivation. And then what I also do, like yesterday, I was having, it's about giving yourself a break as well. Like I mentioned yesterday, I couldn't think of ideas of content, although I have numerous content everywhere, but I couldn't think of something that connected to me. And it's okay to let that pass, not to be too hard on yourself. And then the next day or the 2 days to then pick yourself up by listening to content that's out there through podcasts, being in social media groups, and as well as professional groups. And then also YouTube is a great place as well to connect with the value that you want to add based on specific topics that connect to you and your ideal clients that you want to help. Then lastly, I'll just talk about social media, and mainly on Instagram, and the same thing has happened to Facebook. So this has been the decline of engagement on the platforms, but I noticed it more on Instagram recently, and I kept thinking, oh, is it me, or has something changed, or am I doing something wrong? But it turns out this is an update that I saw on LinkedIn by a company called Social Chain, and the CEO posted that they've done a research of over 1 million posts to review the engagement, and then also looked at 3,600 branded content or posts of people who are the main brands, just to see if their engagement has been impacted. And yes, there has been a significant incline, and I'll be posting the reasons for that below this post, as well as on my Instagram post, which is Chiko CfM, and I also put the link below this video as well. So the impact, some of the examples that were given were that people were using their phones much less due to monitoring their screen time. Then the other reason was that more people, and even including myself, are using Insta stories, because that's the next place where business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers are going, and even just people, the general population, are using Insta stories more and spending more time on there. Then the other reason, the other reason was on paid ads. That's another impact, is that you may also have noticed that on your news feeds that there's an increase of paid ads including ads from influencers. So if you were like a micro influencer, there's been like a saturation in that, or nano influencers, which nearly means the same thing. There's also been a saturation in that area. Okay, so I am looking at my overall marketing strategy just to get to grips with what has happened so far. So if you have been impacted, let me know what your experience has been, and also if you are looking to develop like a social media strategy just in response to what is happening now in terms of the decrease in engagement. It can be also another thing that may demotivate you from wanting to consistently post. For me, it's more about continuing to add value and maximizing on the new features that are being offered. It may mean that maybe in the near future we may also have to hop onto more paid ads, but I would also like the concept of using like organic traffic as well, as a balance, because for me, on some level, it creates, not even on some level, on a higher significant level, it creates more of an authentic connection. So I'm going to leave it there for now, and I hope what I've shared today has added some value. And if you've got any specific questions, then do feel free to leave a comment below, or even connect to me by reaching out to me actually on YouTube. There is an inbox, or you can reach out to me on social media. So I look forward to you joining me on the next, I was going to say live, this is not live, this is a recorded video, but a live is coming soon, and it will be this week. Bye for me for now.